turn 2 here going on. Looks like everyone's basically done an expand. If we look at the score graphs here, every single person has managed to get at least one province, so that's good. Not
We're
always
dealing
just
with trained professionals here.
yes, absolutely. You know, if this was a low level game, we'd be like, oh wow, somebody failed expansion and is immediately dead.
Yep.
But yeah, everyone managed to get a province. Good stuff, everyone. So highlights, I guess, would be the Calum got a province last term and a province this term. So I guess the highlights would be that
Somebody picked up two.
yeah, someone picked. Let's see who picked up two. It looks like picked up two. We've got looks like we've got Bright Woods. They've got yep.
Demolished.
Yeah, people like to hate on and Uruk a lot, but they expand really well. Like these things, they don't do a lot of stuff, but they've got 24 HP for 16 gold, and they do a lot of damage. Like they kick the shit out of Indies. It's like them and Ermor, them and the all the Roman nations. Their troops are bad, but they're really good at fighting Indies.
I'll note that in the matchup between Uruk and Romans, Uruk wins hands down.
Uruk definitely wins hands down because turns out doing damage is really good against medium armored humans.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you've got chariots and gods backing you up.
Let me take a look at that expansion just for my own curiosity.
Oh, do you want to see the Ur-God fight?
Yeah.
So what was that cast?
Don't
Air
zoom
Shield?
in.
Air Shield is very effective.
It basically turns the archer.
Is it all? I think it's Alteration 0 actually, which is pretty big.
Yeah.
It's one of the only spells worth casting at level 0.
Is it gonna fly to the back or?
Yeah. Okay. Looks like Ur is well. It's hard to say, but
it just wanted to fly.
I find that attack rear is pretty reliable these days. I don't exactly know the math. I know once I thought it was morale, and then someone's like, no, it's not morale.
That god had no problem.
Yeah, so we're looking at, we've got 5 protection, but we've got awe 5, so
that'll be
air shield plus awe 5 is a good, you can definitely the biggest threat to awe gods is running into a bunch of archers. Especially with 5 protection or 8 protection, you're getting pinned cushioned real quick. This is not a body.
This is okay. I mean, I said last turn how much I like this god, but look at those stats and imagine how good that'll be with like a full set of items.
Oh, absolutely.
They're dropping on people.
I'm gonna enjoy watching this army wreck. Sorry, this god wreck armies all game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not a lot of interesting. So the Uhuru of the Waters still feels like.
Let me watch that one. Too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like this is basically a tactic to stop the god from getting surrounded.
Uh-oh.
It didn't work. But turns out
poor birds.
Yeah, so this is the problem, right? So this is an awe-based god, 2 protection versus all these archers. Thankfully they routed. Oh, no, they got invul 20. Never mind. So they're but yeah.
It kind of looked like the god could have just taken the province.
Yeah, 20 invul and 5 awe and some water elementals. I would have gone. I wouldn't have wasted those troops. That was a complete waste of troops in my opinion. But who knows? So the other thing is Man's Lord of the Forest, which we look at now. Yeah.
Forester Bob, as they.
Forester Bob, yeah. So Lord of the Forest, one of those gods with that auto vine shield, definitely one of the most powerful effects in the game. Yeah.
Ooh. Let's see his stats again.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, we're looking at regen, reinvig.
Classic.
Yeah, very 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 classic build. Especially on someone like Man who can definitely use both those things, right? You've got a big Communion Bless, you want a big god who is, with Ingum burns 2, that means you are now fatigue neutral. So you've got a fatigue neutral SC, you've got some comms who can live a long time, very solid god.
So that's 3 solid looking Titan Awakes.
Yeah, this spot is
definitely. Note that in vanilla, monsters are really the way to go for Awakes, but in DE, the Titans become very attractive because you can get multiple paths and you can put items on them later. If anything, they're perhaps a little bit strong relative to monsters.
I would say that unless you're going for I want to maximize my scales while getting this specific bless.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for I want regen and that's all I want, and I just want it on the cheapest.
Yep. No, there are definitely a lot of N7 monsters.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it becomes a little hard to choose a non-N monster.
Yeah, definitely, right. And I would say that in DE, most of the Titans have been given cool abilities.
Like built-in Vine Shield? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's an amazing thing.
But the problem is, right, when you have a Titan that can expand, right? Titans can't expand in the base game, right? Most Titans.
Right.
But as soon as turn 8 like a Titan, even with minor gear, is going to be so much stronger than a monster
Monster,
that
yeah.
it makes it really hard to justify monsters, especially when they took all the 2-path monsters away.
Right.
So,
yeah, I wonder. I think DE probably needs to do something about this. I don't know if that's slightly increasing the cost of Titans or decreasing monsters or what.
yeah, I mean, I think it's classic overcorrection, right? Because monsters are too strong in the base game.
Mm-hmm.
But I
And
think
Titans
they
are
took
too
them
weak.
down too much, and then they took the. I would actually say a lot of the the non. There are a couple of real standout monsters. I'd say the Shadu is really good. A lot of the ones they took E off, they gave like 6 to 8 protection. Um, so you can now get it much cheaper. So the Shadu has like 18 protection, right, and has trample and flying, but just astral. But it's very cheap. Yeah, so I think this is the only interesting battle this term. We saw a bunch of spearmen, a bunch of indies. Man is the interesting thing about Man is their troops are indies. So this is a spearman. They're basically the spearmen in the game, but with green pants.
And
So yeah,
this is rough. That's a lot of heavy.
yeah. If I had to guess, I would say that their scouting report looked slightly less, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it looks like there were 40 here. I bet you could have seen 20 and be like, oh, I got this. 20 mostly militia, like militia go down like nothing. And actually, sorry,
Right.
they're light infantry. Even light infantry go down like nothing. You
Mm-hmm.
see, they die
Like the
very quick
heavy
and run
ones
away.
like
But
that.
yeah, no, the fact that you
Yeah,
went in
the
on light
early route.
infantry and then heavy infantry surrounded you, yeah, you can't deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I could see Man possibly doing better there is putting the archers further forward and having the infantry sort of walk up and engage the enemy just in front of the archers. So the archers,
Yeah, it's tough.
less distance.
Yeah, Archer's
That's hard to
forward.
judge.
Yeah, no, Archer's forward is definitely a thing I like to do a lot. It is risky because if your archers get engaged on, they die so quickly.
Yeah, then that's a route, right?
Yeah, I think the problem with Dominions is Dominions 5 anyways that archers are basically like normal
They're bad.
archers,
They're
useless,
bad.
basically useless, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, unless they're
Crossbows, great.
yes, crossbows, absolutely. So
Because the thing is, like, normal archers are a specific counter to like lightly armored troops without shields, and players love heavily armored troops with shields. And so there just isn't a lot of place for archers in multiplayer games unless you are making a bunch of them and bringing like wind guide and fire arrows, or if you are bringing crossbows and those are armor piercing, so they counter everything more or less. Even a really heavy troop will take some damage from a crossbow enough of the time
yeah, you
that a
can
stack of crossbows will.
yeah you can definitely field archers against things like Marvarch knights. 130 gold for a thing that does technically occasionally die to a short bow.
Mm-hmm.
Is good.
They're also not amazing at predicting.
Yeah, who can say? Who can say what archers do in this game? I've never seen them act intelligently in any way.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I think we'll probably just move on to the next turn there. See if something interesting happens in turn 3.